Sztanyo, what's going on? Happy Sunday evening. Welcome to Team Sztanyo Live. My name is Eric Sztanyo from teamsztanyo.com, where we are helping you find your home and strengthen your family. And we're talking all things Cincinnati real estate. Tonight, got an interesting show for you. I'm going to talk about the market, where it's at, and the update. I'm going to maybe talk a little bit about what's going on locally. Happy Oktoberfest to all of those of you who are celebrating right now. Maybe you're out there right now having a beer, but I'm in here for the people working on a Sunday evening so that you can get that tasty real estate content that I know you so much crave. So maybe I'll get a beer a little bit later, hopefully so. But if you're watching, let us know in the chat where you're checking in from. Would love to hear from you, where you're watching from. And as always, leave comments in the chat and any questions you want to know about what's going on in the market. So tonight, we're going to be talking about the local market. We'll go over just a little bit of stats, what's going on. It is absolutely a shifting market right now. So whether you're looking to buy, whether you're looking to sell a home, or you know somebody who is, want to give you guys the details on what is happening in the real estate market in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky right now. Beyond that, we're going to look at an article that's very interesting about where the growth is heading in the Cincinnati area. Where are the builders looking at where there is land where they can actually build homes that are also affordable? So I know a lot of you who watch this channel aren't locally from here. Where they're building right now, kind of on the east side, I'm not going to give it a spoiler, give it fully away yet, but where they're looking to build in the future, where there's some opportunity potential for a housing boom. We're gonna dig into that. We're gonna dig into the details and why builders have their eye on this particular county in the Cincinnati area. So all that and much more. Maybe, hey, who knows? Maybe we'll jump into a little Cincinnati Bengals talk. Bengals are off today, but we play tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. I get to go with my wife, and we've got a friend who's taking us. Shout out to Jeff Bostic. Very excited about that. Looking forward to seeing the Bengals get on the board with a win. I think it's happening. Zach Taylor 6-0 under the lights as a Cincinnati Bengals head coach. A very different record than his predecessor Marvin Lewis had when it came to playing under the lights. So hoping we get a win tomorrow night. Hoping I get to see Jamar Chase's celebration, whatever that is, because he said it's not going to be the gritty. We're excited about that. So let's jump right into it. We are going to get into some market details and some stats. I know how much you guys love stats. I love stats. You love stats. Everybody loves stats. Let's talk about where this market is, because there's some interesting things going on that I want to get to. Actually, maybe before I jump in, we got a few comments. People jumping in. What's up, Alex? Bengals better start to play better. Yeah, 0-2. I heard a stat this week. 0-2, I think you can get to the playoffs like 6% of the time, and they're one of the teams that has done that the last 2 years. The year they went to the AFC Championship, I believe they were 0-2. Last year, 0-2 again, didn't make the playoffs. 0-3, the stat that Jay Morrison had was, I think, less than 2% of teams have made the playoffs if you go 0-3. So, yeah, we're going to need a W tomorrow night. I feel confident about this team. We were this close to winning that KC game. The Patriots were kind of a blur. Joe Burrow just gets better and better every single game of the season. We've got Mims looking like he's healthy. I don't know if he'll start, but he's coming back. I think he's going to add to this offense. Looks like Burton's going to add to this offense. T. Higgins coming back. And I don't think enough people are talking about it, but I think this tight end thing that they're figuring out is a big, big deal, because teams are going to continue to double team and bracket Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So you got to be able to win over the middle with Gesicki and Eric All and get some Chase Brown explosive runs. I could go on all day about this stuff, but I know you guys are here for real estate. So we're going to talk about that. Adam, what's up? Good evening. Adam from Norwood. Have fun at the Bengals game. Thank you. I'm super excited. I don't go to many Bengals games because I have 5 kids and it's hard to get away. And it's not a great environment to take your kids to usually. So I went to one last year. It was the Houston Texans game. And that was a rough game. We gave up so many explosive plays, but it was also kind of I feel like that game was the one where people looked at the Texans quarterback, Stroud, and were kind of like, is this dude like a real dude? And he kind of took off from there. Also, our defense was trash last year. But that was the game Tyler Boyd dropped the winning touchdown in the end zone. And we're like, oh, we could have had it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think we're going to have I hope it's not a tight one. I hope we just get up and stay up. I think this team in particular is built to get up and stay up on people because our run defense is weak. But if we're up by 2 scores, it's going to be hard for other teams to run the ball. And so I think our passing defense is actually pretty strong. So we shall see. By the way, I don't know if any of you guys, for those of you who don't care about this at all, I'm sorry. But for those of you who listen to the Bengals and the Bengals podcast, I've been advertising on there with Paul Dehner Jr. It's been a lot of fun getting on their podcast. They've got a live show event tomorrow night at Nation Bar BetMGM down at the Banks, which is right across from Great American Ballpark. I don't know if I'll be at the event the whole time, but I will be handing out some more of these hats. I've been adding to their kitty of giveaways. So if you want a Team Sztanyo hat and you don't have one, just head on down to the Banks. I think 4 to 5 is where they're giving away a lot of stuff. And these are pretty sweet hats, by the way. I love these things. And I've got a bunch of them left over from our Reds game. But if you are interested in a Team Sztanyo hat, when I wear this around town, a lot of people are like, what is that? Where are you? What? I'm like, it's actually my business. And they're like, oh, that is very cool. What is your business? But you can wear it. The reason I made this hat, you can make a lot of merch for your business that people don't want to wear. I specifically did not put like real estate or Team Sztanyo on it because I think the logo itself is cool. You can say like you're living from Cincinnati. And by the way, just a little up, just so you know about the logo, because I put some time and effort into this. The bridge is obviously the Roebling Bridge on top. And so our tagline is find your home, strengthen your family. So the bridge is find your home, but we kind of accentuated the bottom part of the bridge to make it look more like a dining room table because the bridge is help you find your home. The table is strengthen your family. So I believe that strong families bless the city. And I believe that the table is the symbol of whatever your family looks like. It's the place where you get around, you have conversations, you break bread, you share a meal, you interact with human beings. The table is, I believe, the symbol of strength inside of a home. So enough with this fast food culture and enough with bad food. Let's eat good food. Let's get around the table and let's strengthen our families in our city. All right. That's just a little side blurb from your favorite YouTube real estate agent. Okay, let's get into these stats now. Again, if you're watching, feel free to jump in and ask any questions you got. Here's where we're at with the market. This is over a 2-year period. This is looking at Clermont, Butler, Warren, and Hamilton counties. This is the median price sold over the last 2 years. 2 years ago in August, the median price was $270,000. Today, that price is $300,000. So we've gone up roughly, 18.5% over the last 2 years. Let's see if I can make this a little bigger. If you guys can see this. 19.5%. So about 10% growth. That feels a little high to me, but I guess it's going back to this August. We certainly saw a dip in price at the end of 23 when rates went up. But then this year, as we got into the year, prices have gone up. This last month now, and what we're really feeling this month, I want to kind of point this out. In August, we're seeing a drop. Okay, so prices hit their kind of peak in July, and then they came down. I would expect this to come down again. We are seeing more price reductions. We are seeing longer days on market for active listings right now. So we are, we're mostly through September, but we don't have the sold data on this yet. But I expect this to be coming down, probably be around that 295, 290 range next month. That would be my guess. Next chart. This is the amount of units sold versus the amount of units for sale. And the thing I want to point out here, over a 2-year period, the amount of homes for sale is actually up 9%. So if you divide this right in half, this section here from the end of 23 to 24, we've got about 10%, 9% more inventory here in 2024 than we did in 2023. And that's fairly good news for buyers. There's more houses out there to choose from. It's kind of a weird market overall because what we've seen is housing affordability has just been stretched to its limits, but inventory hasn't come up enough where prices are coming down. So inventory is still low. However, we're seeing a little bit of a shift where buyers have a little bit more control, where sellers who are pushing their price they really need to be careful because they're going to find themselves sitting on the market for longer. They're going to find themselves needing to do a price reduction. And if they're on the market for 2, 3, 4 weeks or longer, then a buyer is going to come in and they're going to ask lower than the sales price. So it's just kind of this weird market where prices haven't come down a lot. Inventory is coming up slightly. It's shifting more towards a buyer's market. It's still a seller's market, but buyers, you are getting a little bit more leverage right now, especially this time of year as you're heading into the fall and winter months. So let's continue on, show you a few more stats here just to prove this point and drive it home. This is the month's supply of inventory. Again, so you guys understand what this chart is saying is that if nothing at all changes in the market, if no new inventory hits the market, then this is how long it will take for all of the houses to be sold. A normal and balanced real estate market is 6 months of inventory. We haven't been anywhere near 6 months for a long time. But when you see that I'm saying that it's becoming a little bit more of a buyer's market, we were down around 1 month of inventory again in March and April this year. It's popped up a little bit, and now we're closing in on, what is that, 1.5, and it came back down to 1.4. So we're seeing a little bit more inventory, not as much as we saw last year. So when rates really went up quite high last year quickly, where they really spiked last year, that's when we saw inventory really starting to stack up into the winter. I wouldn't be surprised, again, just because you can look back the last few years, starting in August, it's typically going to go up. September, October, November, December. Same thing last year. August, it actually went down in September, but then October, November, December. Again, you see less people out there buying houses. You start to see inventory stack up. This time of year, I think, is always a good time of year for buyers to be shopping because inventory is out there a little bit longer on the market, and you get a little bit more. You get a little bit more selection. You get a little bit more choice. Sellers get a little bit more nervous and a little bit more motivated. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're thinking of selling your house, I've got a couple properties on the market right now, some coming up within this week, and then another one in early October. If you're a seller, I feel like what you need to pay careful attention, not only to the overall market, but specifically your neighborhood, and make sure you're working with a real estate agent who's looking carefully at the comps in your neighborhood, where you can compare your house, your condition to these other comparables. And you've got to have that recent data of what's happening in the market, because it is starting to shift down. You don't want to overprice right now. The best time to strike to get a buyer is that first weekend. So if you price it right, in fact, I always think it makes the most sense to price it under. We do our best as our team to market your home. We do open houses so that we can bring buyers. The best case scenario for you is that you get in a multiple offers situation if you're a seller, and then you're getting those multiple offers to give you their highest and best. That way you're letting the market decide the price, and you're not sitting on the market too long and letting that, then being forced to do a price reduction and then potentially getting an offer below that. You're going the wrong way when you do that. So make sure you're working with a real estate agent who understands these market dynamics and gives you the best advice so that you can get your home sold for the most money, the fastest, and the least amount of hassle. That's what we want to do when we're working with our sellers. Okay, so flip it on here. And then I wanted to show this real quick because this is not over 2 years. This is over the last 6 months. And I'm going to just zoom in here. Now, again, this is showing prices are still going up. So over the last 6 months, and that's not unheard of, again, from April through September, and they were starting to come down here in August, and then we had this 1 week where they must have peaked a little higher here. But overall, you're seeing a 2.5% increase, and that's about what I've been telling buyers and sellers this year. Is we're seeing about 5%, I think, overall appreciation this year. So it's definitely not as much as it was in 2020, 21, 22, where we were easily seeing 10% appreciation. Now we're probably about 5% on the overall year. And this final chart I want to show you here is same one as before, which is the amount of units sold versus the amount of units for sale. But this is what's interesting to me is if you cut this 6 months in half, it's saying in the previous 3 months, it's up 20%. The amount of units is up 20% over the amount of units for sale versus the previous 3 months. Does that make sense? So again, we're starting to see inventory stack up a little bit. It's still not a buyer's market. It's still a seller's market, but it's heading that direction where there is a little bit more inventory. It's sitting on the market a little bit longer. We're seeing a few more price reductions. So buyers, if something's priced well and in really good condition, it can still go that first weekend, no question, and it can still go in multiple offers. But it's far less competitive than it was a couple of years ago. There's far less offers. It's just, again, it's because that affordability is just pushing out so many buyers. Now, the good news for buyers as well, mortgage interest rates have been coming down steadily the last month or so. I would imagine that will continue through the election, or at least up until the election, as the powers that be might try to pull a few levers to make everyone feel a little bit happier about interest rates before heading into the voting booths. So there you go. There's kind of an update on where the market is. So again, whether you're looking to buy or sell, it's always helpful to kind of understand where we're at. It's always moving. It's always shifting. And you want to make sure you're working with a real estate agent who has a finger on the pulse here. So now we're going to transition on. Again, if you are have any questions in the chat, or even if you watch this later, not the live show, feel free to leave questions in the comments. I try to answer everything that gets on there, and I appreciate you guys jumping in here and watching. Always love getting to interact with you as we do this, these YouTube lives. All right, talking a lot. I need to get some guests on this show, so I'm not flapping my gums the whole time. Okay, here's the article I wanted to get into tonight, and here is what the thumbnail is all about. So this is an article from the Business Journal, and it says, is Clermont County untapped? Builders see new frontier for affordable housing boom. So there's a couple things I want to talk about in this article. We'll go through it, and I will share a little bit about it. Interesting, what you see here is a picture of Harvest Meadows. We're going to talk about this community. I recently went out there. If you see this is a shot from my phone. Is my video right here that I did. So if you want to know about Harvest Meadows, look at that guy. I went out there and did a video on this community. The big thing about this community that is fantastic, besides the homes being pretty affordable, is there's a tax abatement in this community for 15 years that can save you literally thousands of dollars every year for 15 years. It's a big deal. So houses are kind of flying off the shelf in this community. So anyway, if you want to watch that video, just look up Harvest Meadows, Team Sztanyo, what's the name of this thing? Slash your tax bill on a brand new home at Harvest Meadows in Patio, Ohio. In fact, I'll just throw this in the chat if you guys are interested in checking that out. Cool. There you go. So let's get into this article about the untapped market that offers larger lots, flexible zoning, and greater affordability out here in Campbell County. See if I can make this a little bigger for you guys here. Trying to. Okay. Here we go. Home builders are flocking. This is the story highlights. With the most mature parts of the market increasingly ill-suited to development, home builders are turning to untapped Clermont County, where inexpensive land and flexible zoning keep home prices affordable. Inexpensive land, flexible zoning keep home prices affordable. Those are some magic words that are great for anyone who's interested in a new construction house. Drive out 22 miles east of downtown Cincinnati on State Route 32, just past the new Batavia High School, and you'll come upon a sprawling patch of upturned earth with homes in every state of completion. This is Harvest Meadows. It's a 139-acre, 400-home subdivision that Fisher Homes, the region's largest home builder, is bringing out of the ground one house at a time. It can't build them fast enough. And guys, that's my experience too, as I've been talking to people about heading out to Harvest Meadows. They are selling them fast. They're opening up new faces. In fact, I was out there. We just closed on a brand new house for some of my clients in Harvest Meadows. While I was there, I went into the model home to say hi to to talk to the rep who was there. There was a couple who was sitting there who watches my videos. You might be watching right now. I don't know. And the missus stood up. She's like, "Oh, I know you. I watch all your videos." I was like, "Hi, it's great to meet you. Are you buying a house?" They're like, "Yes." I'm like, "That's fantastic. I really wish I was your real estate agent." And so this is just a PSA for Team Sztanyo that if you're looking at new construction houses, we would greatly appreciate it if you reach out to us first. Now, remember, the builders, 90% of the builders here locally, they're going to pay the commission for us, Team Sztanyo, to be your real estate agent. And so it's not going to cost you anything. It's not going to hurt your overall price or anything like that. Most of the, these builders, they have in their marketing budget a percent that will go to real estate agents who we're doing our own marketing, right? I'm doing my marketing right now. And if we're bringing them clients, they want to pay us and they want to incentivize to do that. So the nice thing about that for you is you get to work with the builder. You get to pick your neighborhood and your part of town and your lot and your floor plan and all of your selections. And you get to work with the builder on that. But you also have a real estate agent who can kind of talk to you about the market dynamics and the neighborhoods and the pricing. And if you ever have any conflicts with the builder, I get to go to bat for you. That's my job. And again, it doesn't cost you a thing. If you don't have the real estate agent and you run into some conflict, that's where it can get a little bit dicey. Now you have to fend for yourself. And so I'll tell you a quick story. I actually had an interaction, not with Fisher Homes, but with Dries Homes this last week. We've got a couple who's building a beautiful house in Independence, Kentucky, in Stonewater. It's a beautiful ranch. They're super excited. They're moving up here from Nashville because they got priced out. They've got a young family, and a problem came up. A problem came up on the backside of their house where the grading was not where they thought it was going to be. Their back door ended up being, about 8 steps higher above the ground than they thought it was going to be. And they've got a little baby. And so they're like, this is not good. Like, we thought you were going to fill this with dirt. We thought this was going to be 2 steps down. What are we going to do? So they came to me and, then we started talking about the situation and we started talking about solutions. I got involved with a builder, and now Dries was great. I will say throughout this process, they were helpful, but for me, just to talk to my client, help them through it, help them talk through what they're saying, what they should say back. They had to craft kind of an email with what they wanted. I kind of read over that email with them. I was like, make sure you say this. I would take this out. I would add this in. So anyway, that's what you get with a real estate agent if you're thinking about new construction, because just because it's new, and I do like new, it doesn't mean it's perfect. And it doesn't mean everything goes right all the time. It doesn't. And so it's nice to have a real estate agent on your side when you're looking at a new construction home who can go to bat for you. And again, it doesn't cost you anything else. So anything extra. So strongly recommend you do that. But one last thing here. I'm sorry for those of you guys who are bored about this. In order for us to get paid, and I don't work for you unless I get paid. Sorry, I don't work pro bono. But in order for us to get paid, you have to come to us first before you go to the builder. So if we introduce you to the builder, they call it being at the threshold meeting. If we give them your contact info, then you're free to talk to them. But we have to introduce you. You have to get registered with us as your real estate agent. Or if you go into that model home, say, I'm working with Eric Sztanyo, with Team Sztanyo, even if you haven't reached out to us yet, you can do that. Just say, like, I'm working. And if you don't want to work with me, that's fine. You can pull me off the list. But go in there. If you're talking to a model home or if you fill out a form online, you need to say, I'm working with a real estate agent. Otherwise, they might cut that out. They don't want to pay for things that weren't actually the procuring cause, is the language, and which I don't blame them at all. As a business owner, I don't want to pay for leads that, I might have gotten without that real estate agent. So I get it. If you're a builder, they want to make sure that the real estate agent actually was the procuring cause. So if you want that option, if you want a real estate agent, if you're going to construction, reach out to us first. We'll connect you. Then all the lines of communication are opened up and you can shop away and have the best of both worlds there. All right, let's continue on with this article. The land developer only planned to sell Fisher Homes 40 lots per year, according to Chip Stewart, zoning director for the village of Batavia. Since starting sales in January, they've sold 66, and they're already approved for phases 2 and 3 of the development. So they're planning on 40 this year. It's September. They've sold 66 already, and they've already approved the next 2 phases. So they actually have run out of single-family non-patio homes there in June. Stewart said it's going crazy. So if you go back to this video I did with Riley out there, she was telling us about what was available at the time. Where's Riley? There's Riley. And she was like, it's going fast. And she wasn't wrong. They were definitely going fast. So, But they are going to be opening up some new homes. By the way, this video walks you through kind of an example of how much you would save in the tax abatement. So again, I recommend you check that out. Now, the one thing about these houses, most of them do not have basements out there. They are built on a slab. And so the homes are a little bit less expensive, but you're typically not getting a basement out there. So let's talk about that in terms of pricing. Fisher Homes Cincinnati Market President Brian Johnson cited the location, the amenities, and the new high school campus. And it's literally like a half a mile down the road from Batavia High School. So that's another great spot for here. As reasons for the community's success, he actually should be mentioning the tax abatement, because that is like, that thing is bonkers. And I highly it's a good deal, folks. I'm not going to lie. That tax abatement is solid. But the elephant in the room in today's housing market price is market is price. And according to Johnson, homes at Harvest Meadows start around 280,000. The home builder offers paired patio homes starting around 260,000 elsewhere in the county. So what they're saying in that sentence is, if you want new construction, most people who are very interested in that are like, yeah, I want new construction. Then they go look and shop, and it's like, ooh, 400, 500, 600, 700, like stacks up really quickly. So to get something starting at 280, now that's going to be a single story ranch without a basement. Okay. That's not going to be like a 2-story with a basement, 4-bedroom. That's probably a 3-bedroom ranch on a slab. But still, it's brand new, and so it's a brand new roof. It's a brand new furnace. It's a brand new kitchen. For 280 starting place, that's pretty good. So that's why people like it. I guess I'll click into the slideshow here real quick. Here's what some of the homes look like. There is I think this is actually their model home. So that's their, I have been in this model home. So this is a little office right when you walk in off the front door. Kind of got an open floor plan kitchen here. Yeah, I shot a video, and there's a master bedroom. I'm trying to remember. I think that's second floor. Yep, kind of an open living room. And this is I did a video on this one too, actually. Let me see if I can. I think this is the Fairfax model is the name of it. And this is only, here it is. Yeah, so this is what we're seeing the pictures of right here. This is the Fairfax model in Harvest Meadows here. And so you will probably see, again, you can see the full video kind of tour here of what we were just scrolling through in that slideshow. So if you want to check out this one, they're only selling this one here in Harvest Meadows, I believe. And it's the only place in Cincinnati. The only other place in Fisher Homes, and they're in several states, is St. Louis, where they're actually selling this model. So here's a look at the Fairfax. Okay, so you guys can watch that one again. If you want to look that up and watch it, the new, what am I doing? I can share this again. The new Fairfax model. I'll put it in here for you guys. By the way, if you can like this video while you're watching it, that's awesome. I'd appreciate that. It gets it out to more people and helps more people find us. I would very much appreciate that. If you wouldn't mind clicking a thumbs up. Let's keep going. Home builders can offer more affordable homes in Clermont County because the income profile of the submarket naturally tends toward entry-level and low maintenance housing styles without the bells and whistles of upmarket counterparts. Okay, they're not Spartan by any means, but you won't find theater rooms or in-ground pools. So what are they saying here? Okay, they're saying our median income is a little bit lower in Clermont County, is what Fisher's saying. But I know a lot of you who watch my channel here, you're watching from out of state. You're thinking about potentially moving here to the area. And so this is an opportunity for you. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to get bigger screen here and look into the camera. This is an opportunity for you if you're looking for where growth is in the Cincinnati area. If you want an affordable new home, just because Clermont County right now has a lower median income level, and Fisher Homes and MI Homes and Dries Homes, they're pricing accordingly. That can be a huge benefit to you. In terms of the amount of time and location it takes to get to downtown Cincinnati, from here in Batavia and Harvest Meadows, from other places where they're building around town, it's about the same. So whether you're coming from Westchester or Lebanon or Mason or Loveland or where else? Alexandria, Kentucky, or Walton, Kentucky, or Independence, Kentucky, or Union, Kentucky, if you're kind of circling around downtown, or Hebron or Burlington. It's about the same distance, but you can save money out here in Batavia, in Clermont County, in Harvest Meadows. So plus there's going to be more growth. So let me keep reading about that, because I not only want to help you find a good affordable home that makes sense for your family, but if you're thinking of being there for years to come and you know where there might be some appreciation because more development is going in, that's only going to help your equity and help put more dollars in your pocket. I love putting dollars in my clients' pockets. Okay. Okay. So they're not the top end fanciest houses like you're going to find in Mason or Westchester or different places. But again, new construction. You're not going to find many 1 acre lots in the new subdivisions either. That's the secret sauce of Clermont County, as opposed to Butler and Warren counties, where growth is somewhat saturated, according to Mark Linger, the senior acquisition manager at Dries Homes. Dries Homes, by the way, I recently did a video on this, or I think I talked about it on YouTube Live. They're building a new condo townhome, like whole division, and they're really going to be focusing on infill projects because of this connected communities opportunity that's happening here in Cincinnati, Ohio, where you can you don't have to build just single family within the city limits. They're going to be focusing on that as well. And so they're like, look, land is really expensive, but so far Fisher and Dries are both saying Clermont County, that's a little bit cheaper out there. Maybe we should look at Clermont County. And now so Linger said, we're really kind of running out of land that's developable in Butler or Warren. Now bringing in MI Homes. Greg Williams, the division president of MI Homes Cincinnati, said it's become difficult to build in some parts of the tri-state, not so in Clermont County. In my business, he said, you see places go through the maturation process of wanting people, and that brings business. And then as they begin to fill up and they're wanting to slow down a bit, generally they will do things like take density away and make you use building materials that drive housing up. Williams said, you see it over and over again, but look at Batavia and Goshen. They're very reasonable and very excited to have growth on their doorstep. Now, Cincinnati Homerama, which, by the way, I did another video. If you want to look at this one, I did a video of Homerama, which, interestingly enough, let me start over here. Whoops. Okay. Thanks, YouTube. How do I skip? So these are luxury homes. They're all 1+ acre lots out here. But this is in Goshen Township in Clermont County. So interestingly enough, where did Homerama go? It's not just, Fisher and Dries and MI, the production builders, looking for land. Also, these luxury custom home builders are finding land out there in Clermont County. So Homerama 24, here's a look at the map. Zoomed out. Let me go back to that real quick. Right here. Okay. So this is just south of Loveland is where this was. The reserve, the reserves at Stone Pillars home. So here's Goshen, just a little bit east. And if you zoom out here, you're in Clermont County. So you've got other builders out here. And in fact, there's Ryan Homes, you got MI Homes, you got Dries, etc. But building these, these beautiful custom homes out here, out there for Cincinnati Homerama. So not just the production builders looking at Clermont County. Land in Clermont County is naturally lower in price than land anywhere else in the tri-state, except perhaps for Boone County, which is experiencing a similar housing boom. Just want to orient you guys real quick. Okay. So here's Boone County. By the way, I grew up in Boone County. I went to Boone County High School. Go Rebels, class of 1999. So I'm a big fan of Boone County. My parents still live in Boone County. I love Boone County. And where you see, you can kind of see from the map here where the development is in the light gray versus where there's a bunch of green. And where you're seeing a lot of development in Boone County is out towards Hebron and Francisville. Let me zoom in a little bit. So kind of like a little bit northwest of the CVG airport. So you've got a decent amount of land here, and you've seen a lot of roads and infrastructure go into place, new exit ramps and things like that over here. You're also seeing it go south. So south of Union and down into Walton, kind of following the interstate. And so there's room here and there's land down here. Now let's zoom out. Where are we? Clermont County, Goshen, Batavia. We're out here on the east side of Cincinnati. So East Fork by East Fork State Park. Up here in Batavia, let me see, zoom in towards Goshen. Where are you at, Goshen? You're so small. Up here, it's a little bit north, kind of just northeast of Milford. So this kind of section right up here. Okay, you're seeing that's where some land is. Now, where the more expensive growth has gone in the last several years, kind of like, Westchester, Mason, we're even starting to see it up in Lebanon, but builders are looking kind of east here, and they're looking down Boone County south is where. Now, if you get into Kenton and Campbell County, there's you can grow there, but let me see if I can do this really quick. I want to show you guys terrain. It's Boone is a little bit flatter, especially down the interstate and out 275. As you get into Kenton and Campbell, because you've got the Licking River as well that kind of cuts through here, it's just there's a lot more hills and crevices and ravines, and so it's kind of hard to develop out there. Whereas look at here, there's some hills early on, but as you get east of Batavia, you start to get flatter. You guys see that from a topography standpoint? And that's where builders are kind of like, I like pushing around flat dirt. That's a little bit easier. What's up, Brandon Carpenter? Go Rebels. Are you a Boone County alum? That's amazing. Very cool. BOONOCOUNTY. Boone County Rebels. All right. Okay. I'm sure some of you guys didn't expect to get that tonight. Okay. Though I did yesterday, I was on Twitter and some Alabama fan was like, name the greatest Alabama coaches and players ever. And I was like, duh, Shawn Alexander. Alexander the Great. Boone County High School, class of 95. Scored 54 touchdowns his senior year. Okay. I saw every one of those touchdowns in 8th grade. One of the best years of my life. Land in Clermont County. All right, back. Sorry, I'm focusing. I'm coming back, y'all. Land in Clermont County is naturally lower in price than land elsewhere, except perhaps for Boone County, which is experiencing a similar housing boom. Clermont County communities are also more flexible with zoning and the approval of development plans, so home builders are able to build more homes on available land. The Clermont County Planning Commission routinely approves development plans with 3 or more dwelling units per acre. So kind of smaller home sites. The zoning of smaller home sites allows us to offer more affordable options with a mix of products that meet the needs of our customers. In Loveland, Drees Homes is wrapping up Villages of Belmont, which offers ranch-style townhomes starting around $300,000. That was one of those communities that sold much better than we initially expected. Linger said, it's obvious we hit the mark on what we were providing. Actually, I think probably if you read the subtext of that, they're probably like, dang it, we priced it too low. It's obvious we hit the mark on what we were providing. Everyone was looking for something a bit more affordable. A lot of empty nesters. We're really focusing on that type of product. I want to talk about that for just a second. I'm going to do another side note. Brandon said, no, sir, I just love to hear about small town high school spirit. Always fun. Yeah, man. BCHS, we're number 1. Those are good times. High school was good times. Had a great class in my high school class. I want to show you guys something while we're talking about this and this price point in particular. So here's Harvest Meadows and we're looking at 268 to 453 in Batavia. Talked about this. The different floor plans you've got. They've got a mix of properties you can choose from here. So the 2-story floor plans are going to be more closer, starting around 300. Most of them. So 2-story, 3-bedroom to 4-bedroom. Somerset's 309 starting price. The 2 to 3 bed 1-story homes are going to be 304, 315, 329, 313. So you're in the low 3s, high 2s. There's one thing I want to show you guys that happened this week. I was helping a client. He may be watching this. Shout out if you are. Is the idea of this Wembley. And so this Wembley right here, this is a paired patio home. What does that mean? It means it is connected. Okay. It's paired. It's 2 units. It's like 2 homes in one building. Okay. And you share a wall right down the middle. And it's 2 to 3 bedrooms. It's 1247 up to 2195 square feet if you get the loft. So you can get it 1 story or you can get a loft, and it can be 3 bedrooms with a loft. It's 1.5 to 2.5 bedrooms. Here's a little bit about what it looks like. You walk in, you've kind of got a living room up. I'm sorry, this is the back. This is off the patio doors, like right here. You walk in here, and then you got your dining, open floor plan to the living room, kitchen, and you typically have a bedroom right off this. So you got your master right off the living room there. So you got first floor living. You also have an office. So this is if you're walking down this hallway right here. There's an office right in the front room here. So if you're working from home, this is a great option. If you are downsizing and let's say you're retiring and you don't want to upkeep a house, this is a great option because it's low maintenance. They're going to take care of all your landscaping. They're going to shovel your snow. They're going to what else do they do? I don't know. I'm trying to think right now. But you've got first floor living. You've got a home office. If you get the loft or if you get a basement, you've got room for grandkids. So I really like this Wembley floor plan. Here's what this loft looks like. So this is just coming up the stairs. You could put a bar up there if you want. That's the only picture. But up in this loft, you got a loft, and then you also have 2 bedrooms up there. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. Actually, let me show you that right here. Let me show you that right. I wrote it down somewhere. This is the Wembley, and here's the floor plan, but I want to show you what the loft looks like, which is right here. You go up the stairs, you got some mechanicals up there, you got a full bathroom up there, and you got 2 bedrooms and the loft. So you got down on the first floor, you've got your owner's suite. Then you either have another bedroom or a study on the first floor. And if you get this loft, you go right up the stairs right there. And the loft is kind of over the living room. Like this is all over kind of the master suite. The owner's suite, and you got 2 bedrooms. So this is a great option. Again, if you're downsizing but maybe you have grandkids that come to visit, what I actually had happen this week, looking at this Wembley option, which is a paired patio home again, and I thought this was brilliant. So if you're looking for affordable homes, this is such a great option, especially if you are a parent and you want to live by your kids. And I actually have 2 clients. I have 1 client buying this exact product right now who's going to live with his kids. You can live in one side and they can live in the other. And so when you're thinking, I just think this is really smart because it's an affordable way. You could buy like a $600,000 or $800,000 house where you're all living in a big 3,500 square foot home or bigger. But the beautiful thing about this idea is because of the paired patio homes, you're right there together. So if you want to help with grandkids, you can. However, you got that split wall down the middle. You got 2 separate kitchens. And that is the key to everything. If you're thinking about multi-generational living and you want to be by your kids, you want to maybe help with the grandkids, the key to that without going insane is probably having that separate kitchen. And so I get a lot of people who come and contact me and they're like, hey, I want to buy a house. I want to buy a 2-story house. I got maybe 2, 3, 4 kids, but I also want a basement because the in-laws might come, the mother-in-law might come. Can we get an apartment down there? Well, you might want to consider this option of just buying both paired patio homes put together. Because that way you can share, you have your own separate space. You're right there together, but you each have your own separate space. You each have your own owner suite. You each have your own kitchen. You each have your own storage rooms. And a friend of mine who has their in-laws, in fact, they're my neighbors, they have their in-laws with them. And she said something very, very wise once, which is 1 kitchen, 1 vision, 2 kitchens, 2 visions. And what does she mean by that? If you're sharing a kitchen, that means like there's got to be someone who's head of the household. Okay. And there's got to be someone who's like, we're cooking this, we're eating at this time. Otherwise you're clashing in the kitchen all the time and you're always trying to share that space and the logistics are a little bit harder. So if you're thinking about multi-generational living, let's say you're downsizing, you want to buy something, you want to be close to your kids. And also maybe they're having a hard time buying something in the market. They're being priced out. You want to help your kids buy something, get into their first home. I think this Wembley is actually an incredible option. And it's really smart where you each have your own space, but you're right there, right by each other. It's new construction home. It's low maintenance. You don't have a whole lot to do in terms of maintenance of the home, but you're right there together as a family, and you can kind of and you're still covering very low expenses. So the price on this thing, just going back to this, I just think this is a great idea. I've had a couple clients do it. So where they build this plan, so a couple places we looked up at Parkview, and they start at $292,900. So you could buy both of these things for under $600,000, and you each have your own space. In Harvest Meadows, you're starting at $277,900, $278,000. So what is that? Someone help me do math. 280 is 560. You're under 560, right? So it'd be like 555 or something like that. 555, 800. I don't know. That's me doing math in my head. I just think that's a really interesting idea. Buying both paired patio homes. And I'm going to talk about it more on this channel, because I do get a lot of people who are like, I'm moving there to be close to my kids, or my kids are already living there. And so it's not going to fit for everyone, especially if your kids already have a house or they need more space. But, I showed it this week to someone in Parkview, which is kind of up in Milford area. See if I can show the map of this Wembley. And he was like, yeah, this would work. This would work great. And we just got to get the sign off for both people. But what I like about it, where's the map here? Location. So I just kind of showed you the map overall, but Parkview is just kind of east of Milford. So again, this same section here, I think this is Clermont County right here. Just north of Batavia, just south of Goshen, where we're talking about. And this is where a lot of building is happening. So if you're interested in, if you're interested in kind of that multi-generational idea, buying a paired patio home together, helping your kids, maybe if they have a baby, a toddler, or two as they're starting their family, could be a great idea to be next to your grandkids, help them out. Or even if the kids are older, you get that loft, you got 2 bedrooms upstairs, the parents downstairs, can work out really great. I don't know why I hadn't been thinking about that from that standpoint before. But my clients are smarter than me, and I've got a couple of them who are doing this right now. And so I'm going to talk about that more, because I am all for grandparents being next to their kids. And I think the paired patio idea for kind of an affordable new construction route might be the way to go. All right, going to move through this article a little bit more. So Drees was doing something similar. They had townhomes around 300,000. Where home builders can build higher end homes in Clermont County, they are. MI Homes recently began selling the first of 130 lots at Grove Park in Miami Township near Milford, following the success of similar communities. Prices start around $430. So if you want that bigger house, let's do that real quick. Wait, what was the name of it? Grove Park, MI Homes. So probably these are going to be 2-story homes with the basement. These are in Milford. I've been out here actually. Wait, I don't want that. Where's your website? Oh, here it is. So again, flat land. They got the pond. You can tell already by looking at that model home, it's quite a bit bigger. Let's take a look at these photos. I should get out here and do a video at Grove Park. Larger space. There's the eat-in kitchen. I mean, you can just tell by the size of this home, it's bigger. But these are starting at $430, so these are probably going to get up into the 500s, But still, this same home in Westchester or Loveland or somewhere else, or Union, is going to be maybe like 500 to 600 versus starting in the 430s. Where are their prices? Okay, plans. So they're starting at the 430s. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 21 to 25, 90 square feet, garage, 2 to 3 car garage. So you can upsize that Windsor plan if you want. Let's see what they have. Quick move-in. By the way, I like MI Homes product. I think they do a really good job. We're going to talk about this because this is something else that I'm seeing right now this time of year is builders slashing prices, especially if you're looking at homes that are already built that they want to get moved. They've got a house here they had listed for 606. They've dropped it 50 grand down to 568. They had one at 608 down to 573. There are opportunities for these, I'm telling you guys, in the coming months, where you can catch builders that have these sales events towards the end of the year. Here's one that was at 625 down to 590. This is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath home, 2.5-car garage, 2,900 square feet for $590,000 in Miami Township. Again, this one was at $660 and it's down to $625, $624. 4-bedroom, 4-bath, garage 2.5, down to 3,000 square feet. Hey, Wendy. Eric was wonderful at representing us in our purchase of a Idris home. Thank you so much. You guys bought a beautiful home, and I know you've enjoyed it. So, well, that's all I'll say tonight. But it's good to see you, Wendy. Thanks for checking in here. I hope to have you some news here shortly tonight. I will let you know. Okay, so let's just wrap up this article here. So you can get those $300,000 homes. You can also find these little bigger homes, in the 400s with the basements. This is the MI homes. We like Milford a lot. We think it's really changed in the last 5 years. It has a growing downtown, more amenities and restaurants. The school system is really solid, and it is, by the way. Let me bring that up real quick. Niche, Milford, Ohio. By the way, if you ever want to kind of check out, communities, neighborhoods, reviews, Milford is actually the #1 best place to live in Clermont County. It's got an A grade. It's got an A- grading for its public schools. Indian Hill High School really bringing that up. But I want to see where Milford Public School is. Terrace Park, McCormick Elementary, Pattison. Milford Junior High is a B+. Milford Senior High is a B+. Those are really solid grades. And okay. We're building a pretty nice house in Milford right now, and it's selling well for us. So that, again, that's MI Homes at this Grove Park. Okay. I need to get out there and do a video. I'll try to get that for you guys in the coming days. No matter the price point, Cincinnati's largest home builders continue to be all in on Clermont County, which has added more than 3,000 housing units since 2020 and shows the strongest growth among the region's 4 largest Ohio counties. It also had the most closings among those 4 over the last 12 months, and Linger sees that trend continuing. I think, by the way, that is on new construction builds, not on overall housing units. That can't be more than Hamilton County. But again, the reason I wanted to point this out is there's affordable, if you want new construction, Clermont County could be an affordable option for you. But B, these builders are all kind of like descending onto Clermont County. So you got Fisher Homes, Dries Homes, MI Homes, and even these custom builders out there at Homerama building the $1 million, to $2 million homes, who are like, the land's cheaper, and so we're going to build out here. So you're going to pass on those savings. But when you see development growth like that, that's an advantage to you. More people are going to come in, more businesses are going to come in, more jobs are going to come in. When the economy grows and people come in, your home rises in equity. You can benefit from that in the long run. So kind of wrapping up here, suburban boom. For the first time in a decade, Clermont County outpaced neighboring Ohio counties last year in the number of single-family housing permits. So, the past several years, it's been Warren County, it's been Butler County, topping by far. But they've really come down here the last few years, just in terms of the amount of land that is an option for them. And you see Clermont County is just like the little engine that could, and they're kind of chugging along. And then here in 23, they passed them for the first time. So the most single-family housing permits now in the last year is by Clermont County, and I expect to see that continue to grow in 2024, maybe even higher. It might even be a steeper chart in 2024 in the year to come. In 2025, building permits in Clermont County have increased 71% over the last 3 years, according to Williams. We think that number will double in the next 3 years. So Dries Homes, MI Homes, and Fisher Homes are working on multiple new communities on Clermont County. Fisher Homes alone expects to increase its housing starts in the county by 24% in 2025 from 2024. So, and a lot of that's going to be in that Harvest Meadows neighborhood, I would assume. Williams teased 2 communities totaling 600 lots that will break ground by early 2026. So again, 600 lots. Harvest Meadows is 300 lots. So that's a lot of growth. That's a lot of development that's going out there, and that could be a good spot to position yourself if you are thinking of new construction home going forward. We think building permits in the next 10 years out there are going to be maybe as good as they're going to be anywhere. That activity down State Route 32 and 125, that's where everyone is lining up. We're going to be out there in a big way. Okay. So that kind of wraps that up. I used to live out that way in Anderson Township, and I was a volunteer Young Life leader. And our area director lived out in Amelia. And to get to his house, we oftentimes had to go out 32 past Eastgate. And guys, it was an absolute mess. Now, this was a long time ago. This was 2003-ish, 2004 up through like 2008. So those 4 years, and the traffic was so bad. You just could not move. The roads were terrible. Every time I went through, I was like, who designed Eastgate? Like, it is so terrible because you've got like, you just had two major retail sections split right in the middle, like by a knife, and everyone trying to cross each other all the time. It was terrible. They've since put in so much more development. They've put in all these, I forget what you call it, where you put the bridges over the highways, and traffic just flows so much easier out 32 out to Batavia now than it used to. And so that's because of all that money and all that development that's gone into that. You've got places like TQL and, lots of different jobs out in that area. You've got East Fork Lake. That is a great recreation area. That's why and you've got cheap land. You've got developers just kind of lining up, going out there, and they're showing their hand here. So if you're thinking of new construction, this could be the place to go, both because it's affordable now, but also because growth is going to happen. That could mean that your home price goes up, and you can benefit off of that if you, sell in future years to come. So, all right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Again, Houday, watched some Sunday Night Football here. I think I saw the Browns lost today. Was very happy with that. Thank you, New York Giants. Deshaun Watson looks terrible. I hate to root against anyone, but except for Deshaun Watson. Don't mind seeing the Browns lose. Steelers win again, which is crazy. That'll change eventually. Maybe, who knows? It's Mike Tomlin. They win with terrible teams all the time. Bengals Monday Night Football again. If you're interested in a Team Sztanyo hat, head on down to the live show by the Growler Podcast down at BetMGM and Nation Bar and Grill down at the Banks. It's been described. If you've never been down there, by the way, Nation Burger is delicious. It's a very good burger, and they also have deals on beers and nachos and stuff like that. But the funny way I've heard described where the location is it looks like Pete Rose, the statue of Pete Rose outside of Great American Ballpark. It looks like he's diving headfirst into BetMGM, which is where you can place bets. I don't do sports gambling. I don't know. Sports are fun enough for me without having to lose money on it. But whatever. I just thought that's a funny description of that. So I'll have some hats down there, some different things. They're doing a lot of different giveaways. So if you're heading down or just want to be a part of the environment for Monday Night Football, should be a good time down there. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Like I said, if you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and I will get to them. Reach out to us at info@teamsztanyo.com. Would love to be your real estate team of choice. If you are thinking of new construction, we'd love to help you out with that. We work with a lot of these local builders, and you get the extra benefit, again, of working with an agent instead of just the builder. Doesn't cost you a thing. Builder pays for it. You just got to contact us first. Have a great Sunday night. Have a great week, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the